used to heal us, and there was a conspiracy to eliminate dance within music because dance was fucking killing us, bro.
Under the black codes, this is what gave rise to what we call the hole in the wall in the juke joint. We wasn't allowed to have places where we congregated and danced. That was against the law.
Damn.
It was literally illegal under this system, this emerging system of Americanism, for us to sing and dance. Our singing and our dancing, when we see certain people come, our singing and dancing increase because they know victory is close. But when other people come, our singing and dancing, like for instance, remember I was telling you about the Crip Walk for a long time, then you seen the effect of it. The energy shift from Cali now, that's called, it's like playing tennis. They returning to serve. The line dancers, the Midwest going into the South, right? And then they mingling it with the Southern New Orleans cultural movement to come up with this boots on the ground movement. This is us showing our solidarity and our love for one another in the face of the enemy in a manner that he know we showing it, and now he can't do nothing about it. Right? Now we don't need crooked man walking on the land. We don't need the lightning bolt. We don't need, because they ready. Now we need to see, is the love gonna come? Are we gonna really, really make it happen? Is the boots on the ground, are we gonna really kick the shit into the fan? It's coming. It's coming. Because you got to remember, all of this music in America come from Mississippian culture. It all traced back to what we call the Delta Blues, to the Mississippi Delta. And it was the love songs of the man that was learning his woman, and he was identifying his mistakes, and he was telling you how to correct them. But then they stopped us from listening to the music. They villainized the ragtime because they was trying to force, right, I don't know what it is, but after about a couple weeks, it's going to click to it and it's going to be over with. That's to keep us away from it, especially the ones that they call church mothers. The ones that's the church mother, the most powerful sisters in the community. And we thinking that because they in the church, that they from the Jesus story. They ain't from the Jesus story. They from the tribes of the land, and they still carrying out the same function they did in the long house, in the big house, and in the short house. They still doing tribal mother stuff. They just doing it under the color of Christianity now. But you thinking it's Christianity because they doing it, but they ain't doing it where the church came from. The church mothers don't run nothing in Europe. They halfway don't want a woman sitting on the podium in Europe. Male chauvinistic pedophile priest cult. Did I leave out homosexual? That's what they is. They don't like women. That's why they keep marrying drag queens. Like Barbara Bush named Big Buddy. Big linebacker.
Let me I'm gonna get to about 2 questions from the family before we get out of here, because I can't be on here too long tonight. Somebody asked, somebody sent the super chat. They asked, oh, by the way, because I see somebody posted your Cash App. Let me throw rods, because I don't want y'all to follow anybody else's Cash App and it be the wrong one. All right, I just put, be careful donating to other Cash Apps, family. You know, I don't want y'all to donate to the wrong one. But Rod Hayes Cash App, we got 3,200 people in the digital building, so make sure you support this brother for the information that he gave us tonight. His Cash App is $SikApe. That's capital SIK, capital APE. Once again, make sure the spelling is right, family. We don't want this going to the wrong Cash App. Somebody said, what is your Cash App, Rich? I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen. It's the same name as the channel. $Black Magic 363. Same name as the channel. Same thing. Make sure you support Rod Hayes. Very, very important that when we have individuals like this, that we show the individuals love. And like I said, I just don't want to go into the wrong person. So yeah, we don't want that. But listen, let me get a couple of questions from the fans. Somebody with the super chat said, were Moors later called Indians?
In the war, the MUUR Moors is the tribal Moors. The MOOR are European Moors. But the catch term MOOR included both of them when it became the Conjure War. The Conjure War was the death of Crispus Attucks in the Civil War. First blood in the war is one of the chiefs, because you have to establish clear boundaries as who's the attacker and who's the defender. And Crispus Attucks' blood was used to write the corporate constitution, what we call the secondary constitution, that moved the capital from Philadelphia to DC under the corporate jurisdiction in a litigation that one of them European nations said we crashed into their ship. So that kept us in litigation, but the litigation was being fought as a war because they was trying to impose they admiralty jurisdiction on the land, and eventually was successful because it wasn't enough of us that was willing to educate ourselves. We was content being befuddling idiots.
Okay. Let's get to another.
Oh, one more part to that. So if you're talking to Moors and you want them to talk about the tribes, they call the righteous Moors. The invaders is called dirty Moors.
Right.
And this is why I say when Angel Bay got locked up, I knew that the dirty Moors was behind it, because he's the law and he's the main one that they want to keep in prison and under the war protocol, because he can call the tribes to war with his oratory. So they want to silence him as much as possible. Right. Larry Hoover, even though he was Main 21 ambassador to Stone, became a king with King David. And they was also discussing why he didn't want to be tied in with the P-Stones, who were Moors, but they was righteous Moors, because the symbols, all of their stone symbolism and they stone codes tell me they tribe. That's a tribe. That's the same red tribe out of the Midwest, old Mississippian. Then when you do the history on Jeff, you find out that he came from Mississippi, just like Larry Hoover, just like King David. And I'm a Mississippian too. My parents has come from directly from Mississippi, and my mama birthed me on the west side of Chicago. They knew I was coming, so they left me messages in hieroglyphics, what we call it graffiti today. But the graffiti, when I walk down the streets of Chicago and read the graffiti, I'm getting messages from Latin kings, Latin counts, Satin disciples, gangster disciples, black gangster disciples, black gangsters, P-Stones, Titanic stones, Cobra stones, vice lords, four corner hustlers, insane, unknowns, travelers. They all telling me the same story. They infiltrating us. They pretending to be us, acting like somebody else the problem, and they making us fight each other. It's in the codes, in the hieroglyphics, or in the graffiti. It's on the walls, on the garages, on the bricks in the tunnels, on the side of the trains. In New York, it's the same message. It's the same message in the hieroglyphics. They don't know they doing it because it's in the blood. It ain't in the mind. It's a natural expression of the self. All you got to do is be authentic, and it's going to come out, and you're going to tell me where to look, and I'm going to know where to look.
Shit, y'all. Wow. This dude got the Holy Ghost in him tonight, y'all. This dude got the Holy Ghost. Somebody shout out to another super chat. Somebody said, where is the missing Indian gold under the Twin Towers?
The Bushes had took that and disseminated across Europe. The gold is all being returned, but they're not taking it to Fort Knox right now. They're taking it to an underground base in Colorado.
Why there?
Because it's secure enough, and Also, the continuity government is in a Raven Rock, Colorado, that's watching all of this play out so that they can make sure we get everything back. When you read the continuity of government FEMA document, it tell you right on the cover that its tribal government is involved. The 9 treaty tribes. We don't got treaties with these people. We not the ones signing treaties with them. The ones that signed treaty got a paper trail to get their stuff back. But we was erased in a paper genocide by burning up our birth records, by burning up our family books, because we had family books that had everybody's name in it. And our big mama used to keep them in her house, and she called it the Book of Life. So that's why they say everybody whose name is written in the Book of Life. But there's a master book written in the ethers. You can't take that book away, but you can burn the physical representation.
Right.
It's just the book. But you can't take it out the ethers. And the ethers is where you get the genetic code for the chiefs to come in and answer for their parishioners, they braves calling for them. They call for us. I need your help, brother. Come help me. They conjure my ass up, Rich. I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm the chief of last resort. They don't supposed to call me until can't nobody figure it out. I see a whole bunch of people that had it almost figured out until they got murdered.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to let's get to let me see. Hold up now, Rob.
While you doing that, this is for the crowd. If y'all watching, anybody know how to get in touch with legendary Top Cats, tell them to holler at the chief. I need to holler at him. I'm trying to get him to do some record keeping for us.
Indeed.
Or read some records for us.
Indeed. Yeah. Holler at Top Cats. I'm trying to get in touch with the brother as well. Definitely holler at the brother. Somebody says Shinnecock is mixed with Africans. What's your thoughts on that statement?
They probably is now, because a lot of Africans in the last couple 100 years then moved to New York. They got to marry somebody.
But not from that time, not hundreds of years ago, you saying?
No, the Shinnecock is an ancient tribe. It's always been there. The New York area was always been their stronghold, their territory.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They wasn't always called Shinnecock, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, somebody said Top Cats mentioned you last night. Okay, yeah. Holla at the brother. And shout out to King Simon in the building as well. Shout out to King Simon. Somebody said, what is the origin of the Moore last name? Moore.
That was given to different people who were swarthy in complexion or dark complected with kinky hair. It was a generalized term like freedman. You got people with the last name Freeman now. That means that they didn't never go into the POW camps that they call today plantations to confuse us. But the name Moore, Moor, it's also the same as the name Moore, Moore. It's also Maury, Mauri. All of those are the term that they gave to the darker people that went into the conflict. All of the black term is a chess term for the defender. And it was specifically referring to the Black Eagle clan, the Black Bear clan, the Black Wolf clan, the Black Deer clan. Those priests is governed under the onyx stone, and a physical responsibility in human form is to do whatever they can to serve as protection for the rest of the tribes. So then that put us in the position where we have to come out of being regular civilians, and now they call in the priest that has a unique set of skills. Some of them you might want, if you want a singing chief or whatever, but he's obscure. So they'll end up getting famous later in life. Like when we needed Robin Cook to come along and tell the Bebe Kids story, because Bebe was one of the nicknames for Big Mama. So when he's saying Bebe Kids, we don't die, we multiply, we thinking he talking about one of these chicks in the hood that got 12 babies by 17 different baby daddies. That ain't what he talking about. He talking about Big Mama. Bebe is a nickname for Big Mama. And she got that from Big Papa. And he also, that term we use today when we referring to our significant other as Bae, that's old. That's old. And that's where you get L's versus Bays. Bay is a Ottoman title of rank. And under a Bay, I think it's like 10 days. Well, 10 DEYs. And today you would call them deacons. Right? But a deacon is a zodiac representation for a house in the zodiac. So you were supposed to be 10 deacons or 10 days under a Bey, and the Bey is a provincial leader. And over the Beys, it's another group called Ali. Ali is the highest rank because when you go from Ali, you become emperor next. You become emperor over a group of Alis. But all that's Ottoman Turkish, which was also established by the same people. When they went through Africa, they got ran clean across the land. That story told by Elijah Muhammad. Everywhere they go, they cause mischief and bloodshed. They cause conflict between two peaceful people. And then they offer them a solution. And I add to that for a fee, because they always going to make sure they put a fee on everything they do. And that's why I'm charged for nothing. If I was a mechanic right now changing the motor, I'd do it for free. Give me what you think you want, what you want to pay. Because it ain't about that. Because money ain't everything. Morals and values, principles, a guy to stand on what he believe in is more valuable to me than damn you got. I'd rather give up all my money to have one loyal person than to be rich and miserable with no loyalty around me.
That's a miserable life to be around a bunch of people with
Give me. Everybody supposed to be wealthy over here. When they came over here, there was no poverty. There was no prisons. Because we follow a certain set standard under the matriarchal order that maintained peace. Nobody didn't have to steal from nobody because everybody was willing to give you anything. All you got to do is ask. And that's where that term, a closed mouth don't get fed. Baby, I ain't know you was hungry because you ain't said you was hungry. That come from Big Mama house. And them smart ass aunties. And Big Mama house always got a bunch of aunties in there because sometimes they husband die off and they move back with Big Mama. They don't want, if I can't have the love of my life, I'd rather be here with my mama. So now you got Big Mama, she got 6, 7 daughters, and they got 6, 7 daughters apiece. And now they all got daughters living in the house with Big Mama, helping Big Mama cook. That's why they don't even have to be from the same family. But if they all in the kitchen, in Big Mama kitchen, they be moving like ballet in the kitchen. Look, Rich, my mama was in the living room laying on her deathbed. She was in a coma state in hospice. And I'm watching these sisters that just met because of my mama. They all love my mama. And they was in there and they was passing stuff where nobody wasn't asking for nothing. How do you know she need the salt? How did you know she wanted an onion out the refrigerator? And then just reach back, boom, somebody passing them something. Ain't nobody talking. They all talking about whatever the main events of the day was. They wasn't even talking about cooking. But when they got done cooking, everything tasted like my mama made it. My mama was one of the coldest cooks we ever seen.
I can tell you love your mama, Rod. I can tell you love
people
your
would
mama.
drive to Chicago if they heard my mama was going to cook a pot of greens.
Yeah.
They drive from Chicago.
Shit.
They drive for an hour away. Detroit, Grand Rapids, all over Michigan. People hear my mama cooking. They coming.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I love this type of talk, y'all. This that soul talk. This is no other word to describe what we had tonight, but straight soul vibrations, family. And this is what it's all about. Let me squeeze in a couple of more. Let me get King Simon. King Simon says, "Hey Rod, isn't the Caribbean a part of the Americas?"
100%. 100%.
King
All of the
Simon,
islands, we would look.
he's hailing from Jamaica. King Simon, he's hailing from Jamaica.
Yeah. So the Big Mama in New Orleans was, or the Big Mama in Gullah Geechee territory, because the Big Mama they was like co-Big Mamas. If one of them died, then the other one got all of the power to the next one is replaced by her blood heir that's responsible. And when she get competent, then the power is distributed on both sides of the Mississippi equally.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And from New Orleans was our port. It's where we did all of our trade with the islands. And the Big Mama up here was sending stuff to what became known as Hispaniola, to Cuba, to Jamaica, to St. Croix, all of those islands in Central America. They call them Caribbean islands. They would send delegations with stuff that we grow up here that our Big Mama knew they needed down there. Mm-hmm. Right? And she would send it to her free. But the side effect is reciprocity. They Big Mama not gonna take nothing for free. So she gonna send her back bananas, or not bananas because they didn't get over here till later on, but like dates, avocados, and mangoes, and the fruit, jackfruit, and probably some jackfish, all of the stuff that they get down there. She send her back a big bundle, come back here. Right. And then when the invaders came, they interrupt first our trade with ourselves to break our unity. When we couldn't trade with each other, we can't communicate because we can't get across the water without fighting. You got Huguenots and conquistadors patrolling the water, and the Mississippi was the mainland's navy. What you call the navy today is it's the continuation of the Mississippi riverboat patrols. They used to patrol the rivers, but they only had a couple of boats that used to go to the islands. And so when they run into the Spanish Armada and the Huguenots on the ocean, right? And they got cannons. We wasn't at war.